He should have been, man. That's the character that gets slept on. He was wanted way before Ridley was free.
The players are able to control their position. There's a countdown on the screen. If due to a stat where a player wants to really go to a loud controller, they're not going to actually run from it that kind of game and they won't die. So we can head into the lower circle. And the fact that players control robot. And the idea is to either they don't want to control robot, this is hard to do, or you can time out and kill this health of both robots. So, two different robots, two different styles, and we're not locked in to just find the amount of
Oh yeah, you're allowed to have so much variety in Fake Battle Mode. As you can see, even if your Robo has a bad matchup right now, you're able to instantly change the matchup.
Ooh, damage. So when it comes to Robo, there are little styles of attack and job. And everything is customizable, by the way. Before the fight, you can your body, your gun, your bomb, and your leg. And they can change the play. You have your gun. You have bomb. Bomb is bomb. They're kind of like a gun in the sense you kind of grab your fire and you try to cut off that. They all have different effects and angles and rather than just the basic of the gun, you have to but pause. The AI is going to now make that then you have to target that. First attack is really powerful.
Oh, that was a sick combo. Now, if you pay attention, the top icon for the health bar for the other Robo, Nagastrike's one player up there is recovering health as you speak. Now, due to the other Robo being at low health, it will recover slowly. When he was at 700 health, low health we have it will recover much quicker.
Alright, so the basics here are, you're going down, during a fight, there are two states. You are obviously active, trying to move around, fight, and you have a down state. During the down state, you are still able to be hit and you can't act, but you take reduced damage. Do you know how much reduced damage they take on average?
I believe it reduces to about 20% of what it would normally be. So, if your attack did 10 points of damage when you're full stance, when you're down, it'll only take 2.
Interesting. So there's a lot of different robot types in the game. What did we see in that fight, Zach?
We saw Soul, we saw a Strike Vanisher, I believe 2 Strike Vanishers.
They were both using the same robot at the start of the match, right?
Oh yes, they were. I believe it was Metal Bear with the Glaive with Needle Gun.
And Metal Bear is a Metal Grappler?
Metal Grappler. He has the strongest charge attack in the game. Most matches with him will revolve around getting your opponent into a stun, so that way you can charge attack and net over 300 points of damage in that one combo.
As you see, we play with 700 health as opposed to 1,000 full bar. Just to balance the fact that we have 2 robots, and there's a pretty limited timer. You can't actually set the timer any higher than 3, which are pretty long games, but considering the nature of this game, it's very long.
Excuse me?
Considering the nature of this game, the long time is very necessary.
Oh yes.
Well, we saw a Metal Grappler, which is big. They have the highest down resistance in the game, which is a kick in the curve. Because they have high offense, but since they're not down as often, if they get caught and hit stuff, they're taking huge amounts of damage.
Oh yes. If you get somebody locking a combo, you can just get so much damage.
Oh, looks like we have some kind of technical difficulty.
I'm sorry for this technical issue. I cannot hear my co-commentator Akashic at all over the music of this game, so I'm completely at a loss for conversation.
It's alright. We also had some issue within the game. I don't know quite what happened, but we started back on a different stage.
Audio up.
Alright, really sorry about that. We were having some technical difficulties. We went from 2 to 3 games to streaming 2 setups and there was a lot of like wire moving and shot setups and a whole different setup here. So there's just been a lot of technical stuff tonight, and it's been really generous of the CEO staff to cooperate with us and help us get this all figured out so we can run a tournament that's the first of its kind, really. So we're going into game 2, and it's already well on its way. So some of the things you're seeing that the other players haven't been doing is a lot of this fight is taking place in the air. One of the players has this bomb, it's called Acro Bomb. You see that white explosion? So Acro is a bomb that a player can set at their own feet that actually just launches them really high upwards, which allows them to strike from the air. Now, in this game, if you set an Acro Bomb and shoot before it goes off, it actually cancels the animation of the shot, which you see in there. He was actually able to follow up with his shot active and fire another shot and chase, which is a really powerful tool. So the meta currently rotates around characters with like high damage output and guns with huge homing properties, so they can fight from the skies essentially. And wow, a quick finish there using Hornet. Very dominant performance there.
Excellent match by TipDik with the Metal Bear and the Soul. He is one of the best players in Custom Robo at this time. I believe they will... I'm going to try to guess, as Nagastrike enjoys stages that are... I don't know. I would say would have enough walls, kind of like Checkmate Factory, as he is beginning to enjoy that stage a lot. I assume he would put Checkmate Factory on the losers list. Forgive me. The losers list is a stage that we use for counterpicking, much like Smash does for Super Smash Brothers. When you lose a set of the tournament, you are allowed to put 3 stages from the entire stage list onto a losers list. The winner then bans 1 stage off this losers list. Then the loser picks from those 2 remaining stages.
Okay, that's very cool.
Yeah.
So in Custom Robo, it's an arena fighter, and so unlike most 2D fighters, stage selection actually really matters. There are a lot of different stages in this game, and there is actually a legal list of stages. There are a lot, and I don't think you're going to end up seeing all of them, even with as many matches as we have. But like, most of the time, the difference between stages is like wall structure, stage length, and width. You have moving platforms on some stages. In our counter picks, we have stages where the walls move.
We have stages where some parts of the platforms, like Castle Citadel, some parts of the stage itself is at a different level than other stages.
And then we have my personal favorite stage, No Man's Land. And No Man's Land is a very small stage with no walls. And the only strategy is just go ham.
Oh yes, you have to have so much movement. You have to have such crisp movement in order to keep that stage under your control. I doubt we'll be seeing it from these players, but you've got to witness that set before by the previous match. Now we are on Flower Guard, and whenever we start a match, we let both players come out of their rovers. When the match finally, when the timer reaches 179, both players are allowed to attack each other. Now, as you can see, Nagastrike has the tank head with feather lanes. Right now you're seeing the strike match and the switch. But when you have a feather lane with the tank head, you can jump. You can do a jump acro cannon, and you will be buzzed lightning, going to infinity and beyond, way above any attacks from the other guys. Aside from possibly homing stuff, which the guys would like to do. Now, you're seeing that called Aether. You can sit back, and it'll be staying in midair for a certain amount of time. And it finally fires until you attack it.
That was a violent stage.
Oh yes.
So something I don't think we got into was when a player goes down in tag mode, they can actually, if they have a change available, they can change robots immediately to get right back on their feet.
Now, underneath their health bar, if it has X and change, that means they're no longer able to change Robo. This penalty will last for approximately 7 seconds. Once that penalty wears off, they can change. So, for example, if TipDik were to get knocked down right now with his Metal Bear and Hornets, he would not be able to change.
Now the biggest thing about the change mechanic is that when a player changes, they gain brief invulnerability, and they can use that to turn a disadvantageous situation into a good situation, or they can use it to push an offense. So it just adds such a depth of variety to the combat. Also, you have to be careful if you're trying to push your advantage against a character who can change. They can quickly change and turn that situation into their favor. So it's very...
Now, what you just saw there, when somebody attempts to change, they have a certain amount of vulnerability before they actually change Robos. When they TipDik tried to do this, and when the needle gun hit him, while he was changing, it clipped him before he actually changed. So then he lost his health there anyway.
So he still went down.
Yeah, so he still went down, and he tried to change again, and he just couldn't. The needle was already there, and it already hit him.
That's actually interesting. I didn't know that change had that kind of lag.
Oh, yes.
Do you know how much, on average?
I believe it's over 5 frames, but I do not know from the top.
So it's a very small window.
Yes, it is a very small window. There's other mechanics that can actually let you benefit from this vulnerability, which I will go ahead and go through here. You can actually parry attacks with this change, and if you time it perfectly right when the vulnerability ends, right when the invincibility starts, that 1 frame window will let you tank the shot without taking any damage. And you can actually do this without even being down. So you won't see this much, but with Kaz battles, you can see this a lot. Currently, Nagastrike sent TipDik to little local volume. Now this train will rotate around the track slowly, and will stop right about where it started the match. So we'll see how they take advantage of that train, or how it disrupts the play at
So can you tell me more about TipDik's build? I see Nagastrike constantly taking to the skies, and TipDik has been more grounded for the most part, depending on what robot they're using.
Oh, yes. Well, pioneer of actually... TipDik was a pioneer of acrobat, and a lot of other players aren't quite too happy with using it all the time for all their things. So they will prefer to take head with feather, I mean, my apologies. So whenever you have it way up high, people can't touch it. So this will make it win. I may apologize. I lost my train of thought.
It's fine. In short, for everyone at home needs to know is that there is a lot more to this game than meets the eye. There is a crazy amount of tech and a lot of stuff going on. You see all these pods on the screen from both players. You see all these explosions from bombs. Like, the neutral in this game is extraordinarily intense, and the game is very fast-paced. A little fun fact that you might not know, when a robot gets down, if they had any bullets on the screen, their bullets actually disappear, like you saw right there, but any pods and bombs they had out do not. So even if you're in a position to press your advantage when your opponent's down, you need to still be watching the stage to make sure you don't get clipped somehow and get put into a disadvantaged position instead of your opponent.
Now Nagastrike has to be extremely careful not to let TipDik, which is Metal Bear and Hornet, actually hit him at close range, because at the health both his rollers are at right now, it will KO him.
If Nagastrike gets down by any weapon right now, he is in a fairly bad position. You saw when both times he's downed him, he has gotten the heck out of there. He doesn't want to keep engaging. He has to whittle down carefully and manage his changes very well here. Oh, but that's going to be it. Hornet, very strong.
One of the best guns in this game. Most people consider it top tier, as it is able to knock people down easily.
All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you give him a round of applause.
Much damage.
Definitely did his damn thing. There it is. That's what I'm talking about. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. That's right. You got to get your Hurricane Chris on, man. All right.
So TipDik
Listen, man, the
really
action's definitely
fight.
not stopping.
Oh, yes.
You know what's up next. You know what's up
So
next.
who's he
You guys have
fighting
waited.
next?
I'm not going to say
He'll be
all day
fighting
because we only did
Poker
top
Russ.
4.
At-
You guys waited a while, though, because these matches,
It'll take a little
they
while
don't
for
go
them
as
to
quick
get
as I
set
thought
up.
they would, man.
So
There's
we'll try
definitely
to
some depth.
keep-
There's definitely some meta
we'll
to
try
this.
to
So,
explain
with that being
more
said,
about
man, we're
this
about to
game
throw it over
as
to the
we-
grand finals, guys. Put
as
your
they are
seatbelts
setting
on.
up. Now, as Nagastrike, as Kasich Sword has said before, you have robos, guns, bombs, pods, and legs. Now, the most, I would say, focused on part in this game is guns, as they are very powerful. They are the main weapon that you will use for damage and for combos. They also have the most variety in this game.
Unlike bodies that fall into different types, every single gun in the game is like almost completely unique, and there are a ton of guns. On the page where you're customizing your Robo, there's like 4 guns per page, and there's like 13 different pages to scroll through. There is a large variety of weapons in this game.
We knew that.
We knew that. Yeah.
Yeah. Our backstage host, shoutouts to MVG Diamond, he told us that this was winners finals. And I'll clarify that this is truly winners finals, and this match coming up is losers finals.
So the last match was winners finals. This is losers finals. So we're about to
Correct.
see the loser of that match, Nagastrike fight Pokken Russ
Yes.
from earlier. And so this is going to be really interesting because we saw 2 players with little experience fight each other and 2 players with a lot of experience fight each other. So now we're going to see how Pokken Russ, with less experience than Nagastrike, try to manage against the metagame.
Oh yes, he has a lot of metagame he is about to experience now.
I actually have faith. I believe Pokken Russ was using a very mobile, grounded kit, which could actually like lead to some interesting interactions between him and Nagastrike.
Yes. Now, Nagastrike will probably use the Buzz Lightyear build of Tank Head with an Acrobat Bomb.
The Buzz Lightyear build.
Oh yes,
I love it.
I termed that myself just now, because you shoot an Acrobat Bomb and you blast off to infinity.
So what he was trying to explain earlier during one of the periods we had some low audio, there is a body model called a Funky Big Head. And Funky Big Heads actually, instead of having an air dash, which most robots have in this game, they have mid-air jumps. So they have 2 big air jumps. So along with using the Acro Bomb to get that high altitude during an Acro cancel, they then get to jump up high and attack from the highest altitude in the game, usually using a gun with homing properties to really harass the opponent, and being out of range of most other weapons. It's a very powerful strategy, and a lot of the other robot types you see in this game only really, like, the builds that you see are only really exist to counterplay this tactic.
Oh yes. Now, we actually have legalized in the competitive community what are called illegal parts. Now, this game is actually an action RPG, and in the story of the RPG, there are parts that can seriously hurt the people who use robos. These are the illegal parts. Now, you will be seeing, as can be seen on Nagastrike's build right now, a Raven Legs. This will allow him to jump much higher when he's doing a mid-air jump, which would let him easily catch one of these Buzz Lightyear builds that we see.
So he's using an aerial beauty model, right?
He uses using the Buzz Lightyear with the Aerial Beauty Soul, with Raven Legs.
Aerial beauties are robots that have 2 air dashes, and they actually have like
Aerial
the best
Beauties have 2 air jumps.
air jumps, right?
Air jumps.
And they have like the best air mobility. Like they can move around in circles, essentially, like really good, sharp, tight movement in the air, which can be really helpful for dealing with those harassing homing shots.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Zach, I have a better question for you. You just dropped that lore bomb, right? We have these illegal parts that can really hurt the users, right? How does a pair of legs hurt the opponent?
Well, in this particular case, for this tournament, these pair of legs seriously boost the mid-air jumps and mid-air dashes robos are capable of doing, as well as augmenting their jump heights, so that way they can use more altitude for either camp or to chase down high points. Now, let's get back to this match.
So we got 2 of the same robos with different guns?
Yes, we see an Eagle gun for Rust, and for TipDik, this is now playing as Colonel Bear on the Ooh, that was so good. He saw the Hornet come out. He just shot more below their gun, which is why you saw how TipDik's
So a big disadvantage of the Hornet I'm seeing is that despite its power, it's got that startup where it goes out and goes in. But TipDik is actually managing that weakness by the body that he's using the Hornet on is a metal grappler. He's got that high down resistance. So he's able to tank a few point-blank shots from even a really powerful weapon and deliver those blows to the Hornet to down his opponent so his own shots don't disappear.
Yes.
That's very smart. This game has a lot of strategy.
I like how he's staying. TipDik is staying far away from Pokken Rush right now. This ion gun, I feel, is going to seriously challenge TipDik's aerial shooting. I believe you're going to eventually see a switch, change to his other Robo if it starts getting away from him. As this gun is called ion, whatever it is, it gives the opponent so much play that this combo is... That was so good by TipDik.
So the Ion's just this huge hit stun gun. Like, you get hit by Ion, you just, even when you're not down, you're almost not in control anymore.
Oh, yes.
That gun constantly, the shots just flow in such a way that you're constantly in this state of hit stun, and it's doing major damage before it downs you.
Oh, yeah. And it has a lot of down, too. So, it is an excellent trading gun, which is why you're seeing Pokken Rush use Metal Bear on it, as Metal Bear also has the... Metal Ox is actually better, which is another metal grappler. But Metal Bear has one of the best down resistance in the game. So he can just keep taking hits and not go down.
That's pretty cool. Earlier in the tournament, we saw a player using a gun called Splash. This is the Ion gun. There was actually this interaction where both players were just constantly trading with each other, and none of them could actually gain an advantage because they were putting themselves in equal hit stun and equal differences, and both of them were back against the wall. It was really funny. It just goes to show, like, even against a gun like the Splash gun, which was a gun we saw earlier, firing those blue shots, those constant blue shots.
Oh, yes.
The Ion gun's hit stun, even with a lot less bullets, is comparable to a gun that is shooting like tens of the short-range bursts. So Ion is pretty crazy. It's a gun I used a lot in my casual play, actually.
Oh, yes. And it is such a good gun, as whenever you see an opponent's shot coming towards you, you can just fire it with a metal grappler and tank the shot, and then you have such an advantage. Now, the match is about to start. No Man's Land. Now, the cast is short.
Oh, I love No Man's Land. I love this stage so much. I am so pumped to see his game on No Man's Land.
Oh, he's getting... I think he just violated the rules. He fired at one edge. But we'll let that.
Well, it's fine. We'll slide. He needs Eagle Edge. He needs some help, right?
Now, these Gemini bombs are perfect for dealing with TipDik, the small little robot you see here called Little Brain, because they fire on either side, which will trap him when he's trying to run in circles. And we have not covered this before, but guns are locked onto the other robot. You cannot angle it at all. The only parts you can do that with are bombs and pods, which are those weird spidery things.
Yeah, all gun management is entirely just you press B. You don't press B in a direction, you press B. So, like, depending on the kind of gun you're using, you're going to get a different kind of shot. So you're seeing with Pokken Rush right now, he's using the gun called the Needle, and that's just always going to fire straight at the opponent. So if the opponent moves even a little bit, that's going to miss. But it's a very powerful gun and it fits with really good range. And then you've been seeing the Hornet on and off, which fires those shots out and then to surround the opponent and hones in, so it's a lot harder to dodge. Right now, TipDik is using the Sniper, which is a more extreme version of the Needle in basic explanation. Very long range, very powerful, but high commitment. You fire one long shot and that's it. So it's really important that these players fire while mobile, because they're not get punished.
Now, Pokken Rush, very much fireball.
That was desperation. He was in a very bad position. Both his robots were at incredibly low health, and he just wanted to stack out some damage as much as he can. Oh my gosh, he T-posed. So earlier in the bracket, we saw a robot that doesn't usually get used in the competitive community. It's called Metal Ox. And Metal Ox actually has slightly better like defensive and offensive stats than Metal Bear? Yes. Metal Bear that we've been seeing in bracket a lot. But he's got a slower charge move, which is that dominating T-pose that we have been seeing all day, and that is my favorite robot in the game. I love to corner people with the T-pose. It's such a long charge move, and if you really outplay your opponent, you can corner them with it. And if you get the late hit down, you can actually shoot them a lot before they get up.
Oh yeah. Now, I'm curious to see what the set is going to be as. So let's see. Focus. You can see TipDik is taking the Robo, and the competitive community are only allowed to take one Robo at a time.
Really?
Yes. You have to say which Robo you're going to take before you actually start selecting the stage.
So it's like character counter picking, essentially.
Yes, this game has a lot of character counter.
There's a lot of rules in this game.
Oh yes. Now you can see a swallow blade, which is another of those illegal parts that I was mentioning earlier. These swallow blades are a combination of what are called the formula and the long brush cut. It allows you to punch things on the stage and also punch much longer areas. You want to see a little greater, actually the area that is much. You'll definitely see this one.
Alright, so what is that gun called?
Left arc.
That's really cool looking. I like it.
Yeah, it's a strange gun. It's not particularly good, but it does its job of firing around the wall so well that it's actually a high-speed gun. It's very good.
So, now, TipDik actually, I believe, so he was able to change his robot after Pokerus picked the stage, right?
Yeah, but you have to actually say which Robo is allowed to take the
So Pokerus picked a stage that's called L formation. So you see that these walls are set in a certain way, and they kind of favor a certain side. They're not completely symmetrical. So like, the left shot he's using is actually like a really good pick for this stage to try to go around these walls and get these hits in. I'm actually really impressed by that.
Now, the weapon system, I believe it's waxing light. This gun was several flaps from
Now from TipDik, this is just the first case we're seeing of a lightning skyer this whole game.
I believe it's
So lightning skyers, except for an air dash and also jump, they just fly? Which is really good for certain weapons. Having that kind of mobility on a homing shot can lead to some crazy advantage things no other Robo can get. Now correct me if I'm wrong, in most cases, it's safer to fire a gun while mobile on the ground than it is in the air. Well, the lightning skyer, of course, and that's the subversion. We're seeing here from what is called a little raider from TipDik. He's actually running, getting up to full speed, and then firing his shots. Ooh.
That was very smart by TipDik. In this game, when you are down, you can actually mash the buttons to get up quicker. Now, if you paid attention to Pokerus's Robo, he was on the ground, kind of, I would say, kind of having a seizure almost, and the...
Alrighty.
TipDik's Robo.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Able to,
the man definitely did the damn thing up there.
Let's
give that man a round of applause real quick. Can we clap it up? Let's clap it up for the one time, man.
To punish when
this man's an utter shock that he won.
So he mashed
but
way
he's still
harder,
sitting in the
got
hot
up
seat.
sooner, and used his invincible
one more
charge
game?
attack.
I feel like there's
to
one more
just get
game after this.
that nice safe punish.
Was the one that mashed sooner.
Wait, is that it?
TipDik waited and punished the get up with his invincibility. That's
no.
Smart.
Oh yeah, you see that a lot.
It ain't over yet. It ain't over yet.
All the
okay.
Players.
This game's got a really interesting meta. There's a lot of moving parts to keep track of. There's a lot of different actual parts to keep track of.
You have
like,
a lot to
keep
track of.
It must be very daunting to learn.
I wouldn't say that. The game is very easy to pick up. It is. You can just learn a certain few amount of Robos, and there's the kind of parts. And once you figure out your build that you like, you're able to just quickly kind of switch up parts to completely change your play style. So it's not really hard to pick up at all, I would say.
I feel like gameplay-wise, it's very intuitive. But then when it comes to like the nitty-gritty of like competitive play, there's a lot to add on. Like I have this note list here, right? And I know, super faux pas to show a note list on commentary. But I have like a list of like all the model types in the game. I don't know if you see, there's a lot of pen, right? And there's even a few models that have like only, like there's a few illegal model parts you're not going to see, which function completely differently. And then there's my favorite model chicken head part, we're not going to see it all. But it's the only burning beast in the game, whereas other Robo types have 3, right?
Correct.
So there's 3 of every Robo type except burning beast, chicken heart for whatever reason. They just want a silly meme character in the game.
Yes.
But,
oil can.
but this game is a really amazing game. It's called, in Japan, it's called Custom Robo Battle Revolution. This was the first North American and overseas release of the franchise that it's actually existed in Japan before. It had released on the Nintendo 64, right?
That's correct. And the Game Boy Advance.
And the Game Boy, I didn't know that.
Oh yes, Custom Robo GX, third game in the series, completely different, and it doesn't really serve much with this game, aside from the name and some of the Robo.
So yeah, and there's also a DS version that got localized, but it had 4 sales. So it was like the first Custom Robo game that actually had like online PvP, which was a huge step for the game. I'm really sad the franchise didn't pick up harder overseas, because this game is beautiful. We have this beautiful stream set up, and unfortunately I'm not a Custom Robo man, I have a lot of experience, but like I would really like to see like a tournament set up of this quality with like 2 commentators who just like know this game in and out, who can just really analyze and break down everything. Like, this is a very interesting situation because we're showing you this game, right? And most of you tuning in didn't tune in to watch Custom Robo. You didn't tune in this morning, wake up this morning and go, I can't wait for the Custom Robo stream at CEO Daytona. I woke up this morning to watch some silly side games, and like, now you're looking at this game, it's beautiful interface, it's wonderful soundtrack, it's glorious aesthetic, and it's just like, that's a really pretty game, why didn't this take off?
I have no idea.
I really enjoyed this game as a kid.
Oh yes, I believe it was just because the reviewers gave the RPG elements itself for average reviews, I would say. Now, if you can play through that to about the parts, and actually play with friends, actually multiplayer, which is where this game has the most depth.
For sure.
You really love it, I am positive, because it has so much meta to it, and we are still discovering so much.
This seems very young, right?
Oh yes.
All things considered, when did the Discord start?
About 4 years ago, and it didn't take off until about 2 years ago. 1 year ago, it really started picking up.
I remember it was 1 year ago I played you for the first time. You showed me the whole side of the game I never knew. But anyway, we are getting into grand finals. A rematch between TipDik and Nagastrike. We're going on the training stage. This is like every 2D fighter's got that training stage. This is the training stage in Custom Robo. Very symmetrical, 2 breakable obstacles in the middle. These walls are unbreakable here. Wow, quick set of changes for both fighters. Wow, exact same health. I can't believe that.
Oh, that same health is the way. Yeah.
The screen?
Far away from the ground. Maybe stop like that. How do you just solve it? Now, I feel like Nagastrike is a lot of everything, but I feel like this is more starter stage. I can just make it so hard to actually catch a little later running on the ground. And all those spiders start falling around.
Yeah, the spiders are completely harassing.
Oh yeah.
It's a training room's pretty small, right? All things considered? Not just between the walls, but like on stages have different sizes too. Training room's pretty small, right?
It's pretty small. It is a lot bigger than most of our smallest cars. But it is the smallest cars is the second smallest.
Now, this game, none of these stages look small when we see some acro cancels and everyone's in the skies, which is an amazing visual element of high-level play. I love seeing these robots in the sky, firing all sorts of bullets at each other. It's crazy.
Oh, this is such a...
That is great, man. Oh my gosh. So as you noticed there, not only did he get him down, he got him down without change active, which is just a huge opening. Huge pressure, but he's got a robot to switch back into, but he really needed that momentum shift because he was falling behind in health here. Now it's looking like a fairly even game. You have to remember that even though a KO is an instant loss for the opponent,
That Hornet's pressure was so slick.
Yeah, very smart change there. You can't really, with weapons these strong on the field, you can't really go on with like 100 health. It's a death sentence if you go down with that much HP. You can only really afford it if you have a change on deck so you can just instantly get out. But right now, both players are pretty much sudden death. The next neutral win is really going to decide who wins. So both players are now playing flips into each other, hiding behind walls, firing pods and bombs. Just, ooh, strong hit there, but he's not really going to be able to capitalize from that distance. But every little bit of damage helps. Soon he's going to be at a health where if he gets hit initially and goes down, he'll be dead before he has a chance to change.
Yeah, this might go to timeout if they're careful the whole time.
Oh, big interaction here. Didn't really capitalize. Oh! Instead of pressing the advantage, use that opportunity to change to a robot who just clutch out that little extra bit of health with even a stray shot from Hornet.
Oh yeah, I mean, that we just saw true Hornet pressure right there.
That was very smart
what
play.
This game does. That's what this gun does.
I love Hornet. Hornet's a cool gun. It's actually, there's a point in the single player where one of the AIs uses Hornet and your goal is to take as little damage as possible in 7 fights, and you get to that fight, and it's over. You just put your controller down.
Yeah.
She just runs up to you point blank and shoots Hornet in your face, and you've taken too much damage for the run. It's done.
Oh yeah.
But, oh. So we've got a really good grand final set here against two of the best players. And Zach, aren't you yourself one of the top players in this game?
I would like to think that I am, but I cannot play that so I'm currently unranked. The other top ranked player that I'd like to mention, which there's 3 currently that are in the top SNL. The 2 you've seen here, TipDik and Nagastrike, and Go for Go. I had to shout him out, as he is the true low-tier hero of this game.
We have a low-tier god in this game?
Oh yeah.
Oh, what does he do? What does he use?
Actually, he's been using what's called...
Alright, so we're back on L formation. And remember, both players have to wait till 179 to start the fight.
Oh,
and
he's blocked him right off.
So what you have to keep in mind about some of these lighter robots is, like the heavier robots have more down resistance, the smaller robots have less down resistance. So they go down much easier. So a weapon like Needle, a lot of the weapons they're using against each other are practically instant down, which is just really strong for getting advantage state.
As it completely removes any shots that smaller Robo has. As you saw right there. As Lightning Skyers share the same weakness with the Ravens.
Ooh! Oh, that is gonna be huge!
Oh, that was a 300 damage combo.
So right there, he had the advantage of change, and his opponent used change to try to take advantage of the situation, but ended up leaving themselves wide open because he also had a change on deck. So as soon as he got hit, he changed and punished the lag of the weapon point blank, and just pushed his advantage really hard. You have to be really mindful of when you change. Even when it seems obvious, you might need to think about the long run.
Now, we're seeing a lot of zoning movement from Nagastrike, from TipDik. Very careful, as you do not want to take any more unnecessary damage like you did the first round.
Well, Nagastrike's looking really dominant.
Very. Here comes the Hornet.
Oh, that's a down.
He did not actually punish, so he was shocked by that.
I think he was trying to go for a... Oh, that's... He was trying to set up his pod, but if he wins this right now, it's about over.
Oh, he's chasing down.
Good pod, good pod.
Not letting
He wasn't in a good position stage-wise to fire a Hornet. They would have hit the wall, so he had to settle for a pod punish. But right now, looking in control. He is desperately swinging away.
Now will finish. Nagastrike up 2-0.
TipDik going for that desperate charge attack. Charge attacks are really powerful. They do a lot of damage. They instantly down the opponent in most cases. I believe there's one illegal. Isn't there one illegal part that only does some damage, I thought?
From their charge?
Yes.
I do not think so. I cannot think of any off the top of my head that do that. All charges in this game do an instant down.
Ooh, okay. So with that instant down, like he was going for that instant down, they usually do a lot of damage too, like 100-200 damage. He really wanted to even up that game real quick using the invincible charge. But unfortunately for the body type he was using, his charge was an uppercut, and he whipped, and it left himself extremely vulnerable. Charge attacks are the desperation attack of this game.
Oh yes, as they're a lot like a roll in traditional fighters, in that whenever the Robo's red, is their invincibility. Now, they can actually go through any other attack in the game, even other charges, and not get hurt by it at all.
We saw a charge playing earlier, didn't we? It's a very satisfying sound. Nice
yes.
Big bang.
Yeah, and nothing happens because they just charge right through. It's quite hilarious, actually.
There is so much to this game.
TipDik in extreme contemplation about where he's going in this match.
And like, TipDik is like, you know, TipDik and Nagastrike are on a similar level, wouldn't you say?
I would say.
So like, seeing this kind of dominance from Nagastrike is just absolutely unreal.
Oh yeah, they take back and forth all the time, as they are very both. They go off their drive, we'll say. Their flow they have. Now let's see what change TipDik is going to have.
Why he's doing that? I want to get some background here, because this is, you know, the scene's been developing online for a while, but this is the first, even though it's in a side bracket room, where we got this very generous side stream.
Shout out to Red Bull.
For everyone else, like, at home watching this, and everyone in the room, this is a funny side event. But to these two players on the stage, it's actually a really monumental moment for the scene. Like, this is the first time they're getting this level of exposure, and this is like the first, like, you could call it to them a major for this game. And there's a lot on the line. Like, saying that, hey, I won the first custom Robo major.
Yeah, that's bragging rights right there.
That would be pretty nutty. Back in 2015, there's actually a side bracket for this game that I participated in. And it was free-for-alls only, no competitive scene. I actually wound up winning. It was 4-man free-for-alls every best of one. It was so silly. So that's nothing compared to this. We have this nice screen setup, top players, tech, good 1v1 format, counter picks, rules. It is a complete and competitive
Now,
game.
I'd like to mention, TipDik changed his Robo to Hornet Gun with Aether. Now, they've told me that they've been labbing this, and this allows them to have much more pressure with their Hornets. Now, let's see when he uses Hornet.
Now, seeing TipDik take to the skies.
Yeah. Now, he has to be careful, as he does not have as much down resistance as a metal grapple. Let's see. This is a lot of neutral players here. Ooh, 2 pods at once.
I kind of want to go into the stage trick a little bit. I feel like if TipDik were to get on that high platform and then acro cancel, he would have big air. I feel like that's kind of what he was going for in this thing.
Oh yeah, but you have to be very careful, as it's very easy for the other players to block that platform since you're in such a bad situation. So smart to fade away from it. Oh, that was excellent.
Very slick by TipDik. Good dodge out of there. He really wants to capitalize on that change, but he has to make sure he doesn't lose neutral to do it. But
trapped again. TipDik will have to avoid those.
Good damage. TipDik looking a lot more alive in this game as potentially championship point of the first custom Robo major. Definitely glad to see him come to life here at the end.
Yes.
But it's still a fairly close game.
Missed the charge. Now those spiders will stay in place until it senses that an opponent is near, and then it will just chase them, as you saw right there. So they're excellent for keeping yourself safe in the corner. Except for Hornet.
So you saw a real analysis of the situation right there, right? Both players went down. Nagastrike immediately changing because he was in a disadvantaged state. TipDik deciding, I'll take some of that extra damage. I don't want to put my other robot in danger and put myself in a situation where I can't change. It was a really smart conservative use of the change here. But right now he's going to switch to his robot and his pressure to try to get some good shots with the needler. Very good, and it's looking like it's about to pay off. He is pretty much a game point here. If he gets a good down, he's got this game in the bag.
Oh, he tried to go for it.
Yeah, he just tried to tank it and just hit hard with the needle. Nagastrike looks like he's about to take control of this game again.
TipDik has to be very careful. He will lose this tournament. Nagastrike showing such dominance in this game. I'm very happy to see that this match is so much closer.
And we're all focused on the guns. All these bombs on the stage too,
oh yes, they're blocking so much escape routes, entry points, and they're using these as a first tool so well. Nagastrike looking like he's getting control back.
TipDik, we're looking for that kill. Might need to start looking at the timer. Instead, he's got the health lead.
Oh.
He doesn't want to give it. Oh, my lord!
goodness. Well, that's a combo video right there.
So what? Did he change to the more powerful robot to get the finish?
I don't know
There
what
you
exactly
have it,
hit
ladies
him.
and gentlemen.
It tractioned him into the
That's right. Give him a
robot,
round of
and he
applause. That was
jumped and
amazing
pointed
stuff.
TipDik
I got to tell you, man,
for
these guys'
over
skill
200 damage.
certainly
Ooh.
exceeds
Nothing
anything that I could ever do on the stage.
Nagastrike winning
That's
this
for sure.
dominantly 3-0.
Well, actually, that's not the end of this tournament. So we have a surprise
All right, man, come over here and
for
show the
you
crowd
here,
your
Zach.
medal.
Oh,
Come on,
no.
let's get it. Let's
So we're gonna have an exhibition match between
All right,
you and Nagastrike.
do it. Let's give it up.
Right
Let's give it
now.
up. That's what I'm talking
With
about.
money,
Yeah,
right?
clap it up.